And now, the continuing story of Another World.
Rise and shine.
Morning.
Morning.
Oh. What a way to wake up.
Here, I made you some coffee.
Oh. What time is it?
It's still early.
Okay.
It's hot.
Just what I needed.
It's black with 1 sugar. That's right, isn't it?
Good memory. I was out like a count last night.
Oh, I'm glad that you felt so relaxed.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what I would have done if Kit and Joey's burglar had come back.
Well, I just felt so much better just knowing that you were here. Thanks a lot for staying last night, Jamie.
I thank you for the use of the sofa.
Oh, sure.
How did you sleep last night?
Like a baby.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. Except...
Except what?
Except, Jamie, I felt very nostalgic when I walked in the living room this morning and saw you lying here all asleep.
Nostalgic?
Oh, Jamie, I just couldn't help but remember all those happy times we spent together in the guest house. You remember the time we went up to the mountains?
Seems like a long time ago.
Wouldn't it be nice if nothing had happened to change things between us?
That's a pretty big if. Did anyone ever tell you how lovely you look in the morning?
You did once.
Well, I'm gonna be here all day if I don't get started. Oh. Aren't you gonna change and shower?
I just thought that you might want to shower first.
No, I can do that at home.
Why, Jamie Frame, I don't remember you ever being so shy before.
Well, let me tell you something, Cecile. Before was different.
Yes, it was.
There you are. You've been here long? Did you have some more nightmares? Woke up and you were like, you just weren't there. Couldn't you sleep? Yo, you gonna say anything?
What do you want me to say?
I know something, anything. Just let me know that you're okay. You all right?
Don't be angry with me, Joey.
Kid, I'm not angry with you. I just don't want you to give in to this thing.
I'm frightened.
Well, I'm here right now. All right? What time did you get up? How long you been here?
I got up when it started getting light. I made myself a cup of coffee, watched the sunrise.
Kind of chilly, wasn't it?
It's nice. It's peaceful.
I'm surprised I didn't wake up when you got up.
I wanted you to sleep a little longer.
I couldn't sleep with that phone ringing off the hook.
I'm sorry. I should have answered it. I thought it might be a reporter.
Why a reporter?
You haven't seen the morning paper.
Oh, was it about something about last night?
Break-in at Eris's apartment. That's the headline.
Larry called it. Wanted, tell me about the break-in, too.
Did they catch the person that did it?
No, but what happened was, now listen, that the apartment building next to ours was broken into. The same thing.
There's another break-in?
Yes, another break-in. The exact same thing happened. Nothing was taken, and there was no damage.
It's a coincidence.
No. So you see what I'm saying?
See what?
The break-in has nothing to do with you or who you are or anything like that.
Oh, not at all, Taylor. If there's any other way we can help, please let us know. Right. Goodbye.
Oh, darling, I thought you'd left already.
I was just on my way out of the door and the phone rang.
Who's Taylor?
Yes, he called to say there was a break-in at Kit's apartment last night.
Oh, no.
I know. Those poor kids, as if they didn't have enough trouble already.
Was anything taken?
Apparently not. Taylor thinks the burglar must have been frightened away by people in the hall.
Well, thank heaven Kid and Joey weren't staying there. I mean, they were over at Miranda's.
Kit's still very upset about it, apparently.
Well, yes, I can imagine.
Taylor's upset, too. He doesn't think that Kit should go back to her apartment when Miranda returns.
Well, when's that going to be?
Next week sometime, I think. Actually, that's why Taylor called. He wondered if we knew of any house for sale in this area that might be right for Kit and Joey.
Right for Kid and Joey?
Well, it ought to be fenced in.
Well, the only place I can think of just offhand is the Napa Estate. It's got that huge chain-link fence, but I don't think that they can afford that.
I don't think cost is any consideration.
Oh, darling, it must be. I mean, you know Joey. He always likes to pay his own way.
Well, apparently he's changed his mind now.
Well, maybe I'll go over and see Kit this afternoon after, Joey's left for work.
I'm sure she would like that very much. Well, Taylor's certainly right about the newspapers getting extra mileage out of this. They've got it on the front page.
Really?
About the burglar.
No, poor kids.
Apparently they're not saying anything about the prowler.
Prowler?
Oh, well, Taylor also said that the guard dogs at Miranda's house were barking at somebody on the other side of the fence.
At Miranda's? You mean there was somebody trying to get in there?
They think so. They don't know for sure because when whoever it was heard the dogs ran away. You're worried about Kit and Joey, aren't you?
Excuse me?
I said you're worried about Kit and Joey, aren't you, darling? I think Taylor's taking a very good care of them, keeping a close eye on them. They'll be all right.
Yes, I hope so.
I'm certain they will. Now, I better get going or else Liz is going to be worrying about me.
No. I need that.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take good care of my daughter.
I certainly will.
And take good care of my wife.
Okay.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Janice recorded that conversation. She taped everything that was said about the plot to murder Mac. Except she happened to have doctored and erased the part where I said that I wasn't going to go along with it.
And you think that the tape is still in the
I
house?
think it's in there.
Why haven't you found it?
I don't know.
Well, where did you look?
Everywhere.
Well, it can't have just disappeared.
No, it doesn't have to. She could have put it anyplace.
Well, if you can't find it, there's a chance no one else will.
It's a chance, but if they do and if they listen, I can go to jail.
Couldn't have been Mitch. Hello? Oh, hi, Mom. Yeah, I'm going to be here today. No, I haven't been avoiding you. Why? Okay, calm down. Yes, I'll be here. All right. All right. I'll see you then. Bye. No, Gwen. Joey left for the office about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, I thought he was coming in early this morning, but I guess I made a mistake.
Well, I'm afraid I held him up.
Is there some problem?
No.
Listen, kid, I read about your break-in in the papers. I hope you're not too upset by it.
Well, Larry Ewing said there was a break-in in another apartment, and Joey thinks it may have had nothing to do with me.
Well, Joey's probably right then.
Yeah, I hope so.
You don't sound too certain, though.
Gwen, I don't know what to think anymore.
Look, what if I came over and paid you a little visit later? Then we could talk about it. Would you like that?
I'd love it. If you can spare the time.
Sure I can. Listen, I'll give you a call a little later in the day when I find out how things are going here and make sure that you're home.
Okay, Gwen, thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Mrs. Perini, I just thought I'd vacuum in here if it's all right with you.
Fine, Mary. I'll just go out on the patio.
Oh, Mrs. Perini, you know what this is?
Well, it's a tape cassette. Why?
Well, I found it in the tea canister when I was cleaning it out.
In the tea canister? That's
Yeah.
strange.
Somebody must have put it there.
Well, I'll ask Aunt Miranda about it when she returns.
Okay, you want me to put it away for now?
No, thank you, Mary. I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Oh, would you get that for me, Mary?
Yes, ma'am.
My daughter.
I'm right here. Hi.
Hello, how are you feeling?
I'm fine.
Well, I guess I'll go start in the dining room.
Thank you, Mary.
I've been busy all morning working on this situation.
What situation?
You and Joe in a place to live. Now, the real estate people have a couple of places for us to look at. They're going to be getting back to me later. Also, I called Mac Corey to see if he knew of it.
Dad, excuse me.
What's the matter?
Well, I think we might be moving a little fast on finding a new house.
But you said last night you no longer felt safe in your apartment.
Well, that was before Larry Ewing called this morning.
What did he want?
Well, he called to tell us that there was a break-in in another apartment building. Now, Joey thinks it may be pure chance that they picked our apartment.
What about the prowler out here last week? That was no pure chance.
Well, we don't know for sure that it had any connection with me, and besides, the dogs scared him away.
Honey, you know, you won't have those dogs if you move back to that apartment.
Well, maybe I won't need them.
No, I think you will. I think it's important for us to consider alternative plans.
Hello? No, it's not. You have the wrong number. Please, don't call back.
Who was it, kid?
It's reporters. Dad?
Is Vivian coming back? No, I don't think so. You said you didn't want any iced tea. Why? Well, I just assumed she didn't overhear us talking about Mitch. Don't worry about that, because we're not going to talk about Mitch. Rachel. Look, I know you were concerned about his coming over to see you the other day. Concerned? I'm half out of my head. Well, we just have to work on not letting him get to us.
He says that that baby that you're carrying is his, no matter what anybody else says.
So? He's always said that.
It was the way he said it that scared me.
What way was that?
Well, I don't know, like he was planning to do something.
All he can do, Mom, is to talk to Mac. And he promised he wouldn't.
Well, what if he breaks his promise?
Boy, he really got to you, didn't he?
Are you kidding? I've been lying awake at night.
Well, don't lose any more sleep over it. He's not the one we have to worry about anyway. It's Miranda. It was over at Kit's. You know, she's staying with Miranda, and she told me that Miranda's been asking all sorts of questions about Mac and me. She looks like she's looking for ammunition or something.
Well, she won't need any ammunition if Mitch blows this thing wide open.
So now we're back to Mitch?
But don't you know how dangerous he is?
Mom, I've known how dangerous he was ever since he first came to Bay City. But he says he cares for me. We were talking the other day, and I told him that he had to concentrate on the baby right now, and he said he'd think about it.
He'd think about it? Is that where you left it?
Yeah, I said I'd call him.
Well, did you?
No, not yet.
Oh. Honey, look, I know you don't want to talk to him, but if you cut him off now, you're going to give him a reason to make trouble.
I know. I know.
How you feel?
Not so great.
Did you sleep much last night? The old nightmares, huh?
Why is this happening again, Rick?
I wish I had an answer.
I gave up my name to get away from all this.
How's Joey taking the latest developments?
Not well.
He was very worried about you last night.
He was?
You don't know?
No, I do know. I know Joey worries. It's just that...
What?
I guess Dad worries more.
This is not a contest, kid. I mean, they just have different opinions. That's all.
They had a terrible argument about me last night.
I heard.
Who told you?
Dad stopped by Gwen after he met with you and Joey.
Was he still mad?
Yes. Especially when I stood up for Joey.
You told Dad you thought he was wrong?
Well, don't look upset. It's not like Dad and I haven't had an argument before.
Oh, I know, but he feels so strongly about this.
So does Joey. And he's got just as much right as Dad.
Have you talked to Joey about the problem?
Not specifically, no. But I know him well enough now to know what's going through his head. He thinks he's being railroaded into a life he doesn't want to lead.
What, just because Dad wants us to find a place that's secure?
Let's not kid ourselves, kid. What's secure to Dad is a big estate with a gatehouse and guards patrolling the grounds.
I know Joey hates the idea of that.
What about you?
Rick, I came to Bay City. I took on a new way of life to get away from all that.
And you're going to go right back to it now?
If it's the only way I can be protected.
What about your marriage? Don't you want to protect that?
My marriage is the most important thing in the world
to
me.
Then do this the way Joey wants you to. You stand up for your husband.
And what if my husband is wrong? What if somebody really wants to kidnap me again?
What if you lose Joey? How much is getting kidnapped going to matter then?
Nothing would matter to me if I lost Joey.
Look, I'm stretching to make a point. And my point is that we all take risks as soon as we walk out that door. Now, you take more because of who you are and what you've been through. But I think this personal risk is worth being Mrs. Joseph Perini. And Mrs. Joseph Perini is not going to live on a big estate.
Just because I'm Mrs. Joseph Perini doesn't mean I've turned my back completely on who I was.
You did turn your back on it, Kit. You came to Bay City and you changed your identity.
And what good did it do me? I was forced back being into the millionaire heiress with a life that's too good to be true.
You're not some headline in some newspaper. You're you.
And I'm afraid. And I want to be safe. Why should I give that up just to satisfy Joey's pride?
You're wrong. I'm telling you.
I'll get that, Mrs. Perini.
Probably more reporters.
No, they can't get past the gate. It's probably Dad.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Garrett. She's right in here.
Oh, hi, kid.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, hon. Hey, I was really sorry to hear about everything that happened last night.
Yeah, you read the papers, huh?
No, actually, I heard it on the radio, right after it had been reported to the police.
Oh, that's right. We had to talk to them at the apartment last night.
Oh, yeah? Will they have any leads?
No, none that I know of.
What about fingerprints?
I guess they haven't found any.
Well, since you're not living out there, I guess it could have happened almost any time during the day yesterday.
Well, I think they've narrowed it down to around 8 o'clock. You see, Cecile was coming home then, and she noticed that the door had been broken open, and she hadn't seen anything wrong when she went out about an hour before.
Well, it still could have been sooner.
Brad, why are you asking all these questions?
Oh, it's just curiosity, that's all. I guess it's pretty lucky that you weren't staying out there.
I consider it very lucky.
Well, were you here all day yesterday?
Mm-hmm. I was by the pool. Dad stopped by, Larry Ewing, Craig, Cindy Lee.
When did Craig and Cindy Lee leave?
Well, you were here, you know that. Brad, if you know something about Craig, tell me.
And you say nothing in the apartment was touched?
Not so far as we could tell.
No, when Kit came to the apartment with Joey, she looked over everything and said that nothing was missing.
Oh, it must have just so frightening to have something like that happen across the hall from where you live.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have done if Jamie hadn't insisted on spending the night on the couch.
Well, that was very good of him.
Cecile, dear, I have a guest room. Now, if the thought of going home to that apartment bothers you tonight, please stay with us.
Well, for that matter, I'd be glad to exchange places with Jamie and stay on your couch tonight, Cecile.
Well, that's very generous of you, Philip. And of you too, Liz. But it's not necessary. I feel fine now.
Well, if you change your mind, you let me know.
Excuse me. Yes, Thelma. Oh, no. By all means, send him right back. Brian Bancroft is back from Texas.
I didn't even know he was in Texas.
Yeah, for a week or so. Oh, Brian, so good to see you.
Thelma said it was all right to interrupt.
You're not interrupting. No,
Oh,
come in.
Hey,
Oh,
marvelous.
Good to see you. Good to see you, Brian. Have a nice trip? So-so. How's Iris?
Well, we got things squared away. I'm sure that was a relief for her.
How about Texas?
It was very hot, Jamie. Yes. I want to hear all about things when you have the time.
All right.
Well, perhaps you'd like us to leave?
Well, we really haven't finished our meeting, but maybe it would be best if we reconvene in about an hour. Is that all right with us?
That's fine, sure.
Liz can get us all together again.
All right. Listen, Liz, I'll be down in production if you need me.
Well,
okay?
I'm sure Thelma will be able to
All right,
track
please.
you down.
Thanks a lot. See you.
The boss's son, too, huh? Oh, if looks could kill.
Tell me, how is Iris looking?
Radiant. That much I'll have to admit.
Then Texas agrees with her.
So it would seem, Matt. So it would seem.
Hand me that T-square, would you, Joey? Thanks, dear. Now, why is the thought of buying this house so terrible?
It's not just a house, Gwen. It's a big, expensive house that I can't afford.
Well, maybe you can't afford not to move to it. Have you ever thought of it that way?
You know, you sound like, your father talking here.
Taylor only wants what's best for her, honey.
Yeah, well, I'm her husband. Don't you think I'm the one who should be able to decide that?
Yeah, but right now I think maybe your pride's getting in the way of everything a little bit.
Well, what about Taylor's pride? I mean, he wants us to live in this big, expensive house that he's accustomed to.
Now, Joey, if that were true, he would have made an issue about it a long time ago. The fact is, his daughter was kidnapped once. He doesn't want it to happen again.
It won't.
You cannot ignore the danger signals.
Well, how do we know that there were any danger signals? We didn't even know that there were.
What do you mean? Your apartment was broken into.
So was the apartment in the building next to ours. And as for that prowler, now who's to say that that guy just wasn't, casing out a house, a rich house that he thought was an easy mark, right?
All right, it's fine if you're right, but if you're wrong, it could be disastrous. Get me the protractor, would you? Put this back. You should try seeing this situation through Taylor's eyes.
Why can't they start seeing the situation through my eyes?
What would they see, Joey?
You want to know what they see? They'd see a marriage that's in a lot of trouble. That's what they'd see.
Would they?
Yeah. I'm fighting, Gwen. I really, really am fighting. I'm trying. I really
I know
am.
you are.
I really am. But we're just changing, Kit and me.
But everything changes, Joey. That's the way life goes.
Yeah, but I don't like these changes.
Sometimes it's for the better, sometimes it's not.
I don't like these changes, Gwen. I see myself losing my temper. Always yelling and whatnot. I just don't like myself for it. Snapping all the time.
All right, Don, you're just under a lot of pressure. That'll change.
Kit's changed, too. I mean, she's not the same girl that I married.
Joey, that's not true. She is the same girl, and she loves you just as much.
I love her, too, but we're from two different worlds, Gwen.
She wants to become part of your world, though. You should help her.
I've tried, but she's so much part of that world that she keeps on slipping back to it.
Well, maybe you have to meet her a little bit more than halfway.
I've tried that, too, but I just don't belong there, and they don't want me there.
Who's they?
It's Amy and Brad and Craig, the whole
But what
crew.
about Rick and Taylor? They're part of that world, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I don't think they want me there either.
Oh, come on. Just because you've had a little disagreement now with Taylor?
You don't know. No, I'm in Miranda's house there, and everything's so fancy. I feel like I can't even sit down. I don't belong there. So where am I then? What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to just do and be what the newspapers, said? Is that it?
What about,
Hello, Cindy. Hi, dude.
Hey, Brad.
Brad, huh? What brings you here?
Well, I was just in the neighborhood. Thought I'd stop in and say hello. I'm not interrupting you guys rehearsing or anything.
Oh, no, we were just about to knock off anyway. Look, I'll see you tonight. Study this hard.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh.
Yeah, I called you yesterday, but they told me that you were out.
Yeah, we're back
Well, when yesterday?
Afternoon.
Oh, well, I was at Miranda Bishop's with Craig.
Well, what time did you leave?
Well, I don't know. About 5, I guess. Why?
Oh, I was just wondering. I guess you came back here then, huh?
No, Craig took me back to my apartment.
Oh, then I suppose he stayed there with you, right?
No, he didn't. I had to rest up for my show last night.
Well, what time exactly did he leave then?
About 6, I guess. Exactly why do you want to know all of this?
Oh, well, I just had something I wanted to tell him. It's not very important.
Well, I'll tell him if you want me to.
No, it's all right. Thanks anyway.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. See ya.
Club. Rachel? Yeah, I have time. Well, the club's empty. Should be so for about an hour. You can come by here. Good, I'll be waiting.
And now, the next part of Another World.
I just bet that Iris told Brian everything when he was in Houston. Oh. And if she didn't, then Dennis probably did. After all, he knows all about that last conversation that we had.
What are you up to?
Nothing. I have a new life now, Iris, and I like it perfectly well, thank you.
And it doesn't bother you that you're stepping on people along the way?
Well, I go after what I want, if that's what you mean.
And what about Dennis?
What about Dennis?
You obviously don't want him.
That's my business.
Won't you at least have the grace to let him off the hook?
Don't be silly. Dennis likes being on the hook. Hello, Brian.
Liz says you want to see me.
Yes, if you're not too busy.
Oh, I have a few minutes.
Well, I suppose you've already guessed that I wanted to talk to you about Iris.
Well, tell the truth, I didn't.
No?
I didn't really think that Iris was a subject you wanted to dwell on.
Well, Brian, I've managed to overcome a lot of that anger and bitterness that I once felt towards her.
Well, good. Neither of those emotions makes for a very healthy state of mind.
I'm hoping that Iris has managed to put what happened behind her, too.
Really? Why do you hope that?
Well, what she and Philip did to me really didn't leave any permanent scars, and I just don't want her to feel guilty about it the rest of her life.
Then you're willing to forgive and forget?
Yes, I am. And I'd like you to let her know that, too, if you see her again.
Well, I don't think that's really necessary, Cecile.
Because she already knows that I'm over it?
Well, I doubt if Iris cares whether you have or not.
Oh, that's certainly very frank.
Well, you know Iris. She gets so caught up in her own affairs that she doesn't worry about other people that she's hurt.
You mean that she didn't say anything against me when you saw her in Houston?
I don't believe your name even came up.
Well, what about Dennis? Did you get to see him?
Yeah, just briefly.
He hasn't managed to forget me already, has he?
Oh, no, I'm sure he hasn't. Though it wouldn't have been very tactful of me to mention you, since he's become quite serious about a girl there.
Oh. Well, I guess everything works out for the best. Well, what about Rena? Did you get to see her?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's pretty hard to miss her.
How is she?
Very noisy. Now, look, I've got stacks of work waiting for me at the
All right,
office.
well, I won't keep you, and welcome back to Bay City, Brian.
Okay, bye.
Oh, I thought you'd left already, Brian.
I was just leaving. So long, Cecilia.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Liz.
Bye-bye. Oh, he is such a wonderful man.
Well, yes, he is, isn't he? Well, Liz, what can I do for you today?
Well, I just wanted to tell you, dear, that I really meant what I said about asking you to stay with me tonight.
Oh, well, that's very sweet of you, but I'm okay.
I know how it feels to be alone. Sometimes the smallest sounds can seem so frightening.
Well, I was upset last night, but I'm feeling much better today.
But what about your building, dear? Do you think it's really secure?
Well, nothing's ever happened before, at least not while I've been living there.
Now, your front door, how many locks do you have?
I have one and a chain lock.
Oh, one. I think you should have two, at least two.
Okay. If you think so, I'll take care of it right away.
Just look under locksmiths in the yellow pages.
Oh, wait, Liz, you're not going to leave yet, are you?
Well, I guess I don't have to this minute. Why?
Well, because we haven't had a chat in a long time.
Well, that's true. We haven't. You know, I think Jamie was a real gentleman to stay with you last night.
Yes, he was. Well, and I'm telling you, gentlemen are in short supply these days.
I'm really so very glad that the two of you are seeing more of each other.
Oh, Liz, he's made my life so much more pleasant lately. And I'm looking forward to my life being much more pleasant again once Pat returns to Brava. Except that... Well, Liz, do you think that Pat might change her mind about coming back to work again?
Change her mind?
She didn't seem very definite about it in the first place.
She wasn't?
Well, it seems to me like it was really much more of a spur-of-the-moment idea. I'm not sure that her heart was really in it.
Why, I do hope you're wrong.
I just wish I knew for certain.
You know what I could do? I could give Pat a ring in Chicago.
Oh, Liz, I couldn't ask you to do something
No,
like that.
I wouldn't ask her directly. I just sort of hint around.
Oh, Liz, would you?
Yes, and how is Pat enjoying her visit to Chicago? Oh, she is. Well, thank you then so much. I'll talk to you again. Yes, bye-bye.
How is Pat?
Fine.
Did she say if she's staying in Chicago much longer?
Well, I really don't know. That was Alice's housekeeper. She and Pat have taken a motor trip for several days.
Well, she must be having a good time then.
Yes, I'm sure she is. Was there something I can do for you, Philip?
Yes, Mac wanted to see this reader's report on a manuscript we received the other day.
All right, I'll make sure that he gets
Liz,
it.
did I leave a large manila envelope up here? It is.
I was just wondering what that was doing there.
I've been so busy since I came back, I don't know whether I'm coming or going.
I know the feeling. Oh, that's Mac for me. Excuse me, both of you.
Certainly.
Remember to take everything in and
So, Brian, Iris is going to remain in Houston.
That seems to be the plan at the moment.
Yeah, well, you know Iris, she's always looking to conquer more turf.
That's true.
Tell me, I don't suppose you had a chance to talk to Iris about Cecile at any length, did you?
Oh, in all honesty, Philip, I didn't even try. I went there to follow through on our divorce, and that gave me quite enough to deal with.
Well, yeah, I guess it was a bad time.
Yes, it was. For everyone.
Do you have any second thoughts?
None whatsoever. It's the only way.
I'm really sorry, Brian. I know you loved Iris.
Yes, well, love can die. I've heard that from many clients as I've helped them through rocky divorces, and now I understand.
Well, I wish you all the best.
Oh, Philip, Iris did say one thing about Cecile.
What's that?
She told me that she doesn't feel remorseful about what she did to Cecile?
I don't understand. She no longer feels remorseful.
Well, I asked her to elaborate on it, but she changed the subject.
Yes, but Iris was so filled with guilt when she left Bay City. What could have happened to change that?
We'll probably never know. But I wouldn't worry about it, Philip. I gave up trying to figure Iris out long ago.
I'll see you. Well, why would Iris no longer feel remorseful?
Doing your homework? You look very intent.
Just checking reservations.
How's business? Good?
Is that what you came by to find out about?
The last time we saw each other, I told you I'd call.
So you're fulfilling an obligation.
We have unfinished business, Mitch.
Do we?
Have you thought any more about what I said?
Yeah, that's about all I've thought about for the past week. You, me, the baby. Everything you said.
Have you come to a decision?
No, Rachel, I haven't.
Mitch, that's the important thing.
It's not easy. You're not the one that has to make a decision.
It's very cut and dried. Either you step aside and let this child be brought up with the help and support of two loving parents, or you don't.
Sorry. That's not so cut and dried. Not for me, anyway. You know, somewhere along the line, I discovered that I could get most anything I wanted. And then somewhere along the line, I realized that what I wanted wasn't all that important. I mean, anybody can have the unimportant things. Not that they're free, but the important things.
Well, what is?
For me,
Yeah, what's important?
you. Right now, you're what's important in my life.
Mitch, there was a time you thought Janice was important.
Janice was different.
How?
The way that I felt about her was different. It was physical. A lot of it was physical with us.
Mitch,
What?
there was a prowler at Miranda's house the other night. It was in the papers.
So I heard.
Miranda isn't there. Kit and Joy are staying at the house, and apparently the prowler was chased away by guard dogs.
So, why are you telling me?
I was wondering if it was you.
Me?
You never found that tape that Janice made of your conversation where you were deciding to kill Mac. I thought maybe you'd gone up there to get it.
I told you the tape is a fake. She erased the part where I said I wanted out.
But nobody else knows that, especially not the police.
So you think I took advantage of Miranda being out of town to go out there and look for it?
Well, was that the way it was?
I haven't been there since she left.
Mitch, if that tape gets into the wrong hands, you could go to jail.
I looked for it. I searched that place from top to bottom. You said Louise and Brooks did the same.
Well, how do you know it's not just going to turn up?
Well, I think if it was going to turn up, it would have turned up when Miranda was redoing the house.
Okay, so maybe she's got it already. Maybe she's listened to it.
She hasn't.
Well, how do you know?
Because if she had found it, she would have used it not only against me.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
The tape would cause you a lot of problems, too.
Stay tuned for the conclusion of Another World.
What do you think the tape is?
I don't know. Maybe Janice did destroy it.
Maybe somebody found it. Maybe they threw it away.
It's incredible, isn't it? That Janice still has a hold over both of us.
She doesn't have a hold over me.
Oh, no?
No. Don't try to tell me what I think. And don't try to deny what you already know.
I'm nothing to you, Mitch. Absolutely nothing.
You're the mother of my child. I can't change that, not even if I wanted to.
Mitch, I thought we agreed.
We agreed that I would try to live with it. That's all.
Mitch, now you've got to think about this baby.
So here comes your fierceness from under the surface when it comes to the child and when it comes to Matt.
I feel very strongly about both of them.
And you'll do anything to keep from losing
Yes, that's
Mac,
exactly
right?
right. That's what I would do. But that's not why I'm asking you to do this.
Isn't it?
I care about this child. This is my child, too.
You know, I was talking to somebody the other day about kids.
Who?
What difference does it make?
You didn't tell anybody anything.
I said nothing to no one. As I was saying, I was talking to Tracy. She and Russ were thinking about having a family, and she said that the idea of a child being conceived in love is a wonderful thing.
Why would she have said that to you?
Why not? We're friends. We talk. She said also that quite often that love can come after the fact.
Meaning what?
It means that love for a child can come even when a man and woman haven't thought of the child during the act of love.
Ours wasn't an act of love, Mitch.
Maybe not for you, but for me it was.
It was not an act of love for me, and you know it.
Now you say that.
It wasn't.
Listen, I was there. I remember. I know you felt something.
You wanted me to feel something, that's all.
It was more to it than that.
I was with you that night for one reason and one reason only, to save my husband's life.
Listen, don't you understand? I love you. I can't help how I feel.
I can't help how you feel either, Mitch. Just let me alone, okay?
No.
Mitch? Mitch, cut it out.
Come here.
Leave me alone.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another World.